So Brendan. Thank you, Mike. So as he said, we're the Center for Responsive Politics, also known as Open Secrets. I'm going to be talking a little less about activism today and more about basically the numbers and how you can use those numbers to fuel whatever it is you're trying to get accomplished. So the Center for Responsive Politics has been around since 1983. We were founded by two retiring senators, Democrat Frank Church of Idaho and Republican Hugh Scott of Pennsylvania, who came together with the thought that we needed a nonpartisan, independent nonprofit to provide as much data as possible on the way that money is impacting our elections and our politics. So we now exist as a research group talking about money in politics and its impact on elections and U.S. policy. Our role within the reform movement is similar to our role within the country, to provide access to clear and unbiased data and information, and its role in our American elections, so that you can be empowered to use that knowledge to strengthen our democracy and empower our transparency. It should come as no surprise that we at CRP have been focused this month on the 10-year anniversary of Citizens United, which, in case you haven't noticed, is tomorrow. It hasn't been just our operations that have changed significantly in the decade since Citizens United, but the way our campaigns are financed has also changed dramatically. And the cost of our elections has risen to new heights. In our over 35 years of following the money, we've never seen a court decision transform the campaign finance system as dramatically as Citizens United. And here are a few of the ways that has happened. So despite fears that corporations would dominate our elections, the biggest players in our elections today are actually mega donors. The top 10 biggest donors and their spouses have spent $1.2 billion in just the past 10 years, accounting for 7% of all giving in the 2018 election cycle. Balance of power has shifted from parties to less regulated outside groups, and even candidates are frequently finding themselves outspent by super PACs and other outside groups active in their elections. Disturbingly, despite promises from the court that Citizens United would not lead to a decrease in transparency, groups that don't disclose their donors accounted for $963 million in outside spending over the past 10 years, a massive increase from just $129 million the previous decade. And the increases in the cost of our elections don't stop there. In 2008, the total cost of election and congressional races and the presidential race combined cost $5.3 billion. In the 2018 election, without a top-tier presidential contest at the top of the ticket, the cost was $5.7 billion. In 2010, $62.6 million were set by super PACs. In 2018, that total was $822 million. Non-party outside group spending was 19% of the total election spending in 2008, up from 6%. In 2018, it was 19%, up from 6% in 2010. Last year, dark money spending officially surpassed $1 billion at the federal level. But that is only part of the spending by groups that don't fully disclose their donors. When combined with the $1 billion spent by partially disclosing groups, which keep some donors hidden or are funded in part by dark money, spending by groups that don't fully disclose their funding has exceeded $2 billion in the past 14 years. Spending by groups funded entirely by anonymous sources hit nearly $150 million in just the 2018 cycle alone. In that cycle, more than half of all spending by outside groups, excluding party committees, was by groups that do not fully disclose their donors. The more money that is spent by groups that don't fully disclose their donors and don't fully disclose any of their funding sources, the greater the concern is that foreign actors or other nefarious groups could be funneling money into our elections. Direct spending on elections has increased as well. In the 2014 decision in McCutcheon v. FEC, which removed the cap of overall limits an individual can give directly to candidates, traditional PACs, and groups. In the 2018 cycle, 30 individuals made over $1 million in hard money contributions, something that could have been unthought of a decade earlier. Combine this cap removal with the birth of super PACs 4 years before the McCutcheon decision, and wealthy individuals are now free to spend unlimited funds on political influence. In the wake of these changes, the best thing we can do is use the data we have to best inform the electorate to counter any sort of disinformation that could be coming. Transparency is the pillar of our democracy. As James Madison wrote, a popular government without popular information or the means of acquiring it is but a prologue to a farce or a tragedy. We here at CRP aim to be that means for all of you here today. Our motto is we count cash, you make change, and I encourage you to take advantage of our resources and make our electorate as informed as it possibly can be. Only with factual evidence can real reforms be achieved, and only with transparency can that evidence be achieved. Thank you very much.